The Super Mario games and movies are full of incredible adventures and adorable characters. But did you know this universe might be hiding some pretty dark secrets? Peach's parents. Peach and Roselina's past is extremely important in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, especially with the reveal that the two are sisters who were separated when Peach was still a baby. According to Roselina, they never had parents since they were born from cosmic dust. However, there's no concrete proof that she's actually telling the truth. After all, Peach was only a baby when she was separated from her older sister, so it would be difficult for her to remember her real parents. What if she actually did have parents, but Roselina, for some reason, lied to her and made her believe otherwise? The reason for this lie could be that their parents lost their lives after being attacked by villains who wanted to kidnap the girls because of their powers. Since that was such a traumatic event for Roselina, she doesn't want Peach to feel sad about never having had the chance to truly know her real parents. Pretty creepy, right? And that's just one of the 10 creepy theories you didn't know about Super Mario Bros. So grab your popcorn and get comfy on the couch. Another Cinewave is starting. Toast Arena. In both the movies and the games, we see Mario visiting several different kingdoms. One of them is the Sand Kingdom, which appears in both Illumination movies. In the second one, the Mario brothers even visit Toast Arena, one of the cities in that country. What very few people realize is that this city they visited might actually be a portal to the world of the dead. The place is populated by skeletons wearing outfits inspired by Mexican culture, but that raises one big question. Why are they skeletons? That's also a very clear reference to Mexico, more specifically Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. According to this Mexican celebration, the world of the living and the world of those who have passed away meet on that day. In Mexico, it's common for people to paint their faces like skulls during this celebration as a way of honoring the dead. On top of that, many people imagine ghosts as looking like skeletons. So unless every single resident of Toast Arena wears a skull mask 24/7, the chances of them actually being spirits are incredibly high. That becomes totally possible when we remember that zombie skeletons already exist in the world of Super Mario, with Bowser himself becoming one at the end of this movie. Another thing that also exists are ghosts, like the boos that appear throughout several games. Even so, it would be shocking and awesome if it were revealed that Toast Arena is some kind of realm of the dead that living people can enter without even realizing it. Bowser was humiliated. Based on what we've seen from Bowser in both the movies and the games, he always seems like someone who is simply evil. He's constantly trying to conquer the world and kidnap Princess Peach just because he's a tyrant. But what if we told you there's a chance we've all been wrong, and Bowser only became evil after being humiliated by Peach when the two of them were teenagers? That might sound ridiculous, but there's actually a piece of concept art from the Super Mario Bros. Movie that shows exactly that happening. In the artwork, a younger and much smaller version of Bowser has just asked Peach to prom, but Peach not only rejected him, she also started laughing at him along with the rest of the school. The artwork most likely represents a flashback scene that was cut from the movie. The fact that the scene was deleted could mean it's no longer canon, but maybe that's not actually true. In movies, it's very common for deleted scenes not to be completely discarded, but instead saved for possible future sequels, and that could absolutely be the case with this flashback. Everyone would be shocked if the next Mario movie revealed that Peach mocked Bowser before he ever became a villain. If this really happened, it's likely that the princess only acted that way because she was a teenager at the time, and she probably regrets it deeply now. And even though Bowser would have every right to feel hurt by that cruel humiliation, let's be honest, none of that justifies him becoming a tyrant, invading kingdoms, and kidnapping princesses. A dystopian world. Mario's adventures take place in the Mushroom World, home to places like the Mushroom Kingdom, the Koopa Kingdom, the Sand Kingdom, and many others. This world is filled with pipes, monsters, breathtaking landscapes, magical boxes, power-ups, and princesses. Overall, it's an incredible place full of life. But there's a chance the Mushroom World has a far darker origin than anyone would expect, because it could actually be Earth itself in a post-apocalyptic future, thousands of years after some kind of world war destroyed everything. In that case, all the seemingly magical creatures would actually be mutants created by radiation from atomic bombs. Maybe the planet is called the Mushroom World not just because of the toads, who only live in one of its many kingdoms, but because atomic explosions create mushroom-shaped clouds. That would explain why there are so few humans in this universe, which is even more noticeable in the movie universe. In the games, there are a few more humans, but they live in a city called New Donk City, which looks a lot like New York City, maybe because it's actually a rebuilt rebuilt version of the original New York that was destroyed during the war. In that scenario, the pipes connecting the Mushroom World to our Earth don't transport Mario and Luigi to another planet or dimension, but instead to another point in time in their own world. This is a theory loved by many fans, and despite never being confirmed by Nintendo, it basically became the plot of Adventure Time, a Cartoon Network series with an even crazier universe than Super Mario. So, would you like to see any of these creepy theories become reality? If yes, comment down below with the hashtag creepy. Yoshi's Sacrifice. One of the best additions in the Super Mario Galaxy movie was the introduction of Yoshi, the dinosaur who loves tagging along with Mario and Luigi on their adventures. However, ever since the games, there's been a dark theory claiming that every time we see Yoshi, we're actually seeing a different dinosaur, especially because Yoshi is also the name of the species as a whole. The reason behind this would be pretty disturbing, since it would mean that many Yoshis lose their lives during Mario's adventures, mainly because one of the moves players can perform while riding Yoshi is having Mario jump off his mount in midair to reach platforms. And what's the result of that? Usually Yoshi ends up falling to his death. Could we actually see Mario sacrificing Yoshi in the next movie? That would completely change everything and make us realize this plumber might not be as heroic as we thought. Bowser Jr.'s mother. Another game character who made his movie debut in Super Mario Galaxy was Bowser Jr., and he was awesome too. But another thing Bowser Jr. has in common with Yoshi is that there's something dark and mysterious surrounding him, or rather, surrounding his mother, who has never appeared, not even in the games. In the games, Bowser Jr. has no idea who his real mother is, while his father refuses to tell him anything about her. The closest we ever got to an answer was in Super Mario Sunshine, when Bowser lied and told the boy that Peach was his mother. In the movies, Bowser Jr.'s mother also never appears, and everything suggests that when Bowser is away, Kamek and the other Koopas are the ones taking care of him. Bowser Jr. was kidnapped. The idea that Bowser Jr.'s mother may have already passed away is sad enough, but what if he isn't actually Bowser's real son? The truth might be far more horrifying, with the boy having been kidnapped by the Koopa King and then manipulated into believing he's Bowser's biological child, while his real parents are probably still alive and desperately searching for him. Unless, of course, Bowser got rid of them, which would make the situation even worse. Either way, Bowser Jr. having been kidnapped from his real family by the Koopa King would explain why his mother's name is never mentioned. And honestly, it's not that unbelievable. If Bowser has no problem kidnapping princesses, why would he have a problem kidnapping babies? The only issue is that Bowser Jr. looks way too much like the Koopa King, but Bowser's right-hand man is Kamek, a magician who knows all kinds of spells, including magic capable of changing people's appearances. It's possible the little boy used to be an ordinary Koopa, or maybe even a completely different species, but was magically transformed into a copy of Bowser. Donkey Kong was the victim. Anyone familiar with the history of the Super Mario games knows that Mario first appeared as the main character of Donkey Kong back in 1981, where the gorilla Donkey Kong is portrayed as a villain who kidnaps Pauline, forcing Mario, who was known as Jumpman at the time, to rescue her. What very few people know is that Mario might actually be the real villain in this story. After all, the game Donkey Kong Circus shows that the gorilla used to be part of a circus where he was abused by Jumpman, and it gets even worse in Donkey Kong Jr., where the roles are reversed and Mario is the one kidnapping DK, and some of the game's posters even show our supposed hero holding a whip. Why would he need a whip? To whip Donkey Kong or his son? It's becoming more and more obvious that Mario might not be as good-hearted as he seems. The subscribe button is right there, waiting for you. How about clicking and keeping up with everything we post? The blocks. If we still haven't convinced you that Mario has a dark side, then it's because you don't know the truth about the blocks he's constantly destroying. That's because the official manual for the very first game, Super Mario Bros., revealed the bizarre origin of those blocks. They're actually toads who were transformed into blocks because of a curse. In other words, every single time Mario smashed those blocks, he was actually killing a poor, cursed toad. Most fans who know about this cruel piece of lore believe Nintendo no longer considers it canon. But what if Mario really is evil and destroys countless toads just to collect coins and power-ups? The origin of the Boos. The Boos haven't become major villains in the Super Mario movies yet, but let's be honest, everyone knows it's only a matter of time before they become the main antagonists of one of the films. The problem is that their origin in the games has always been a mystery. Does every ghost become a Boo, or only some of them? And that's where a pretty disturbing explanation comes in, one that actually makes perfect sense. It's extremely possible that all Boos are the ghosts of enemies Mario defeated in the past, because he takes down countless enemies during his adventures, and many of them definitely don't survive. That origin would explain why the Boos are always trying to attack Mario and Luigi. It's revenge. At the same time, Boos always hide whenever Mario looks directly at them, almost as if they're terrified of him. And honestly, who wouldn't be afraid of the person who turned you into a spirit in the first place? The fun doesn't stop here. There are 2 amazing videos waiting for you on the screen. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.